Okay, so now we are ready to create our first function. So after the require ones, let's start typing function, and the name of the function will be get language. Okay, inside of this function, first of all, we need to globalize a few things. First global will be database name. This global, we're using globals actually to allow these variables to be available inside of the function. So we globalizing the database name, which is inside of the database.php file. The next thing we need to globalize is also the conDB variable, which stores the connection string to the database. Once we've got these both globalized, we can start creating our SQL statements. So SQL variable equals, and in between double quotes, we're gonna start typing select all from languages table order by name in the ascending order. Okay, so that's our SQL statement. Now we need to type MySQL select DB, and we want to select our database using our connection string conDB. Okay, the next thing we're going to create the record set equals MySQL query, and now we are passing our SQL statement to the conDB. Okay, or if it didn't succeed, die with MySQL display MySQL error. Okay, next thing we're going to create rows, the new variable, and assign all of the records to it, which will be MySQL fetch sock, sorry, FETH sock. RS, we're passing the result of our query to it, and we also want to check how many rows has been affected, how many rows this statement will produce. So total rows equals MySQL number of rows, and we pass our record set into it. Okay, now we can check first of all whether there are any records at all returned by this statement. So if condition and our total rows, which stores the number of records returned, is more than 0, then we're going to do something. And at the end, we are going to close our free all of the results from our record set. So MySQL free result and RS. Okay, so now if there are some records there, then we're gonna first echo the select in between the quotes, double quotes, then name equals backslash double quote, backslash double quote, and after the first double quote, we're going to type srch language. As you may remember, we have created our language label with the same name, with the same for assigned to it. So srch language. This is why we're passing this to the name and also to the ID. So if we copy this name and paste it after, and we just rename the name to ID. Okay, so that's our first select tag. Then we want to create a new line. So backslash n and close the double quote semicolon. Next we echo the option with the value, with a blank value, so backslash double quote, and in between we're going to type any language help, which is 3 dots, and closing option tag at the end. Then new line, so backslash and double quote and semicolon. Then create 2 new lines and echo closing select tag, double quote and semicolon. Okay, now next thing will be we need to loop through the records which have been populated from the database as a result of this search query, of this SQL statement, and display every single one inside of the option tag. So do open curly brace, 2 new lines, close curly brace, while, and now open parentheses and copy this, rows equals MySQL fetch a sock rs, and closing parentheses, semicolon. Now what we want to echo here. First of all, we want to obviously echo our option tag with the value, so equal backslash double quote backslash double quote, and then we're going to close it. We're also going to put something in between the opening option tag. Then we're going to create closing option tag, double quote, semicolon. Now what we are going to put inside of the value. So inside of the value we're going to put the ID of the language, not the name but the ID, which will be passed through the URL to our search query later on. So double quote, and inside of those 2 double quotes place 2 dots. Now what we're going to do, we're going to copy rows, square bracket, opening and closing, and double single quotes. And inside of this, we are going to type simply ID, which is the field from the languages database. This is a unique ID, as you may remember. It's a unique ID for each language record. Now that we've done this, we also need to display the name of the field itself, of the language. So we can copy this whole thing with the double quotes and place it in between opening and closing option tag, and by just renaming ID to name. And it's all fine, but we still have another thing to do, which we'll look at a little bit later on when we're going to create the sticky form fields, which means whenever someone's going to select some record from a drop-down menu and press the search button, then this record, this value will stay inside of this specific drop-down menu or text field or anything else. But this is something we're going to have a look at a little bit later. So now we have our drop-down menu ready. Let's copy the function, go to our index, and let's call this function from within our index.php page. So open in PHP tag, place the name of the function, semicolon, close in PHP tag. Now if we try and launch our page in Firefox or any other browser, you can see it's calling to undefined function get language. And this is happening because we didn't include our functions file inside of the index.php. So before the doc type definition, open in PHP tag and type require once inc path to our folder and functions.php. Now, if we go back to the browser, refresh it, you can see we have all our languages populated from a database and displayed inside of the select tag. In the next video, we'll create the next function for category, author, and year.